Hey yo, Jam here at Peaceful Media. We are a digital marketing agency out here in the world of hippies in Portland, Oregon. We're just out here serving people who want to make a positive impact on the world. We're all about positive people, products, and ideas here at Peaceful Media. And I'm so excited that I get to join Kathy Caprino, a dear friend of mine, and someone who's doing a really good job out there of helping people just find that alignment and flow in their lives and their careers. I'm so excited to get to share my thoughts and feedback on how we can be more successful with an online business, particularly around the thought leadership industry or expert industry. People basically branding themselves and selling or sharing or monetizing their content, their expertise. So because we're such a cool company and we have a great mission to love more, play more, do more good, we have attracted some major thought leaders out there, folks like Brendan Burchard and Jeff Walker and Dr. Mark Hyman and many more. And because of that exposure to their worlds, we've also had an opportunity to work with all the people who are going online and starting to share and monetize their message. And the challenge is that a lot of people come into this online business launching, product launching sort of atmosphere or ecosystem, and they get really excited and pumped up to go do this. And then the reality of launching a business really starts to set in. And so a lot of people come frustrated and like this dude here, just a little overwhelmed with how much this takes, how much this requires of someone, not only in technology skills, but also that sort of hustle muscle and resourcefulness and the ability to get unstuck when you're stuck. That inner game that Kathy teaches so well here on the Forbes blog. So I just want to share some highlights of common traits that I've seen. I call them the critters. These are the challenges that are keeping people stuck when it comes to launching their online brand and getting to the place where millions of people know you, trust you, and like you, and ultimately buy from you. So the first one, the technical challenges we're not going to go into today, but I really want to focus on the life challenges and conditions, and then the self-manifesting paradigms that people bring into this world. And hopefully there's some, you'll see one of the critters, as we call them, you'll see one of those or several of those in you, and just you'll understand that there is a way out of that critter. You can get that critter off your shoulder. I promise. It's going to take some work and awareness in order to get there. So let's go through 7 of them that I've noticed after a decade plus of working in the online marketing thought leader space. Number 1 is the beginner bird. And I love this bird because, she's sweet and innocent and a bit naive. She is just entering this whole world, this conversation about, monetize your expertise and you can build a brand around what you know. You can make a living here, all of that stuff. You're coming into that going, gosh, that sounds amazing. All the freedom. Oh, I can work from anywhere. I can live on a beach and send emails and make money? Whoa, cool. And so you're coming in about 10 years after the pioneers in this industry, folks like our client and friend Brendan Burchard and Marie Forleo out there have gone out and really demonstrated that, yes, you can do this. And it's also brand new, that it's overwhelming, and you just go, what? Okay? Like, what are you guys talking about? So this isn't really a psychological hang up or hurdle. This is more just the reality of you have a lot to learn. So guess what? There's going to be some learning involved here and an openness, but also being careful. And I'll get into what you need to be careful for in a second. The second one is a procrastination turtle. I'll get there someday. The procrastination turtle is all too familiar to someone who has got, especially in a cush job out there, you got a corporate gig, You're like, yeah, I went to this seminar, with Brendan or Jeff Walker. They're talking about how you can launch this online business thing and monetize the expertise. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm going to do that. I'm fired up. I'm a guru at something. I'm really good at gardening, let's just say. I'm going to go and launch my gardening expert brand. And I'll get there. I'll totally get there. I'm going to do this. It's just someday. Someday. It just so happens to be the next 7 days on my calendar or someday. So, and then you look at the next week and it's someday. And all of the days are someday. So procrastination turtle has sort of committed, but hasn't made a whole lot of traction. Happens frequently. Number 3 is the one I wanted you to be careful for if you're the beginner bird. And the reason is the bright, shiny object squirrel is very likely to jump on your shoulder as soon as you've educated yourself and found your way through the beginner bird, problem, the critter problem on your shoulder. The bright, shiny object squirrel just jumps on his shoulder and says, hey, now that you're learning about all this cool online marketing and sales stuff, you have to have this tool, this strategy, this course, this event, this guru, this mastermind, this digital product, this report, blah, blah, blah. You've subscribed to a million different thought leaders in the online marketing space, and you trust them, you know them, you like them, they give you so much feedback, they give you so much education, and it feels so good. And then when they post something like this, it was normally $2,000, $1,997, and today it's only $2.99. You have to buy it now. There's a countdown. It won't be available to you tomorrow, I promise. So you buy. And then that happens ad infinitum, and suddenly you have a digital shelf that is full of stuff that you've bought but have never actually opened. Eek. So, as you get more informed and you start listening to the gurus, just be aware, that you really do need to be on a smart budget, and you really do need to get the tools and stuff that is appropriate for where you're at now. I promise you, your gurus, your marketing gurus, are well ahead of you, and their tools and their strategies may not be suitable or relevant to where you're at. Put yourself on a bright, shiny object squirrel budget. Okay. Motivational seesaw bear. Oh boy. Now this guy's got a little Shakespearean in him. As you can see, he's wearing a Shakespearean hat. Very, very nice. Color scheme there. Shakespearean bear, he's like, to be or not to be, that is the question. This person goes out there to those big summits, and maybe it's a date with destiny or something where you just decide you're going to do this, and then the reality of how much work this takes sets in, and Netflix just released a new series, serials out. I mean, all these great pieces of content out there. Oh, it's so good. And there's new Leonardo DiCaprio movie. Oh, I just love him. I'm going to go watch that instead of work on my business. Motivational seesaw bear happens to the best of us. Stay aligned with your big vision and make little baby steps. Procrastination turtle, motivational seesaw bear, they go together a lot. Okay, this one's a tricky one. And this person is actually tricking him or herself. Now, it's the budget-sensitive monkey who says, oh, really? Am I really eating my tail? I thought for sure this was a banana. Why is that connected to budget sensitivity? Well, here's the deal. People like to make this excuse that, if I just had the budget to go and invest on a fancy website, a CRM, my online marketing system, some gurus, some courses, if I just had the budget to go and do that, then I would be rich. I would be out there. I'd be doing this thing. That is called lying to oneself. You think you're eating bananas, but you're actually eating your tail. You're the monkey who is lying. The real truth is many, not all, but many thought leaders and online marketing gurus did it themselves, and they did it for virtually free. I can point out several. Chris Guillebeau, for instance, The Art of Nonconformity, the $100 startup, New York Times best-selling author. He went and started a blog. So it was free. It was on WordPress.com, nothing fancy. He just pushed his content out and built an audience. So what's your excuse? It's not budget, I promise you. It's probably up here. Motivational seesaw bear. You haven't dedicated yourself to this mission and to getting your story and your advice and your message out there. Let's just be honest. Okay, enough of goading you and provoking you and making you mad, little budget-sensitive monkey. Let's go over to the one that affects most of us. In fact, when we surveyed folks who were joining our course, Launch 31, I asked them, which one affects you the most? Which critter is the most dominant on your shoulder? And this was number two, actually, right after the bright shiny object squirrel. So the perfectionist raccoon is convinced that 11 out of 10 is possible. And they will not go out there and put their message and their pictures and their blogs and products. They will not put that out there unless it is 11 out of 10. Well, unfortunately, 11 out of 10 just doesn't exist, A. And B, it's really just going to turn into a you've done nothing result. Because if you're in the pursuit of something that is unattainable, well, you won't be online. That's just the facts. So I recommend people get comfortable with 6, 7 out of 10. Get comfortable with good enough, because you have to realize that, oh no, I'll never have this perfect is true, and you have to get some iterations out there. Nobody you see today who's been doing this for 15 years has the same website or same marketing copy or same products that they had when they were just starting out. You have to get something out there, get some feedback from the market, make it better over time. Do the 7 out of 10. Trust me. And I struggle with that one a lot. So there's mine. And lastly, there's more critters, I promise you. But this is another one I added on a little bit later. This is the seventh. It's our roly-poly technophobic hedgehog. Now, this hedgehog is convinced that he or she cannot do nothing, I tell you, without better understanding of technology. Well, that's true, and they've also convinced that I think more paralyzing is, I am not a techie. That statement, that inner game of just telling yourself, I am not a techie, basically means you will never be a techie. It cuts you off from going and learning what you need to learn in order to make this happen. So open yourself up to educating yourself. Okay, if you are one of those types of people where you touch a keyboard and sparks start coming out of the computer, then I understand, then you got some good stuff going on with your energy and your electricity. And so maybe this isn't, a good field for you, or maybe you need to dictate to someone what to do. But the fact is, most people don't cause sparks out of their computer, and most people are just hiding behind the hedgehog porcupine needles of a default self-belief, a paradigm that really needs to be shed so that you can show your vulnerable learning, hustling, always optimizing your brain, forming new neurons, getting some things in action, doing whatever you can with what you have to get that message out there. Look, the world needs thought leadership. The world needs positive people, products, and ideas. And I hope that you'll take some of these and not continue to hold on to those critters on your shoulder. In fact, download our free official critter field guide when you get an opportunity. I think there's a link underneath here. Download that guide, and hear the honest truth of how you can start putting yourself ahead of your critter game, doing some pest control inside your mind, and getting over all of those things that are keeping you stuck. Just go to, if you don't see a link below, please just go to peacefulmedia.com/LP/critters and you'll get it for free. Very cool. I'm so excited. Keep reading. You're going to have a lot of fun with this post. And until I see you next time, I'm Jam at Peaceful Media. Remember to love more, play more, and do more good. I'm out.